Annette Jarvis. I am a partner at Dorsey Whitney, LLP, and I'm also on the management committee of the firm, and my title on that is partner in charge of transaction practice groups. My father is an engineer, and when I was a junior in college, he had a patent infringement suit and took me with him to court, or I went to court and thought, well, that might be something I'd be interested in. So that was my introduction to the law. There are no lawyers in my family. I like problem solving. I mean, lawyers I really think are problem solvers, and usually more than one solution, because you can't always count on the first plan you come up with working, so you always have alternatives in mind. Well, I'm really proud of a lot of the results that I've gotten in cases. A lot of times those cases take years. You spend all that time and effort and you come out with, a good result for your client is really, really satisfying. I think you have to be very determined. You need to work hard to really be good at what you do. So you need to study, to find mentors that teach you. And then I think working in teams, the legal profession has become quite complicated. And if you can't work well in teams, then I think you're not as good at your job as you could be. I would say that my leadership style is more empowering those that I lead, so leading by example, and then giving them coaching, giving them the tools they need. There are lots of studies that have been done recently about what women add to in thinking, in the way they think, which is a little different than men. And I do think that I've noticed that. I think really strong teams include women, are able sometimes to solve problems that without us, could not be solved. Well, I think first, learn your profession well. Be good at what you do, because there's no substitute for that. You have to, and nobody does that alone. You need to find good mentors that care about you. Live a balanced life. You can burn yourself out. And for women, I have 5 children and raised a family, and so there were times in my career where I worked part-time for a long time, where I was kind of balancing both my professional and my personal needs. And I think for long-term, happiness in your profession, you need to have a balanced life. My grandmother, my paternal grandmother, I knew her, grew up not far from her in California, and knew her well. She was just an incredible, determined and happy person. Her father died when she was 8, and she was sent to live with relatives who really didn't want her. Despite that, she grew up, she put herself through college at a time when women weren't going to college. Typical of women, some of the things that we still struggle with today. She was paid about half of what a man would have been paid in her job, and her family had to live on that. She could have felt bad about all the struggles that she had to go through, but she wasn't. She was just a wonderful example to me. Finally, as I said, I'm very passionate about women and helping women, in the workplace, with their families. I spend a lot of time just mentoring anyone and everyone, young women. I have lots and lots of young women friends because they've come to me through other people they know that I mentor and help them kind of work through some of their problems. And I look throughout the world, and there's a lot of poverty that comes from women supporting families, and would love to be able to figure out a way to help women do a better job of pulling themselves out of poverty when they are the ones left, to support their families.